First practice in the new gig for the spring season, at least. Does it feel good to get this going?
No doubt. You know, we come out here today in sunshine and blue sky. You bet. We've been tiptoeing here for the last 10 days, waiting our time, and to get out here today, so it's exciting times for sure.
Does it feel like it's really close now, though? I mean, when you look up and you are playing on the 17th.
It is. It is really close now.
Just in case you're wondering.
We're 3 weeks away right now, and it's time. It's really time, yeah, to get real serious and you know, you can definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, how much as a coach is a balance of the excitement of getting close to opening day, but also the fear of, oh wow, we still have a lot of things.
Oh, there's a lot of things that we got to improve at. A lot of things we got to keep putting in and installing, and you know, we've went through a good fall, but there's so much to install and really try and perfect and get going, and we've got a long ways to go. But you know, we're going to cover a lot of it in 3 weeks, and we'll keep going for there.
Mitch, in the last couple of days, you talked about the pitching staff being one of the strengths of this team.
Yep.
What do you see from them, and how is that?
Well, they've done a nice job so far. In the fall, they were throwing strikes and competing. You know, I mean, getting the ball in the zone. And if you can do that and play defense behind them, then you know you're going to be in ball games, and that's been the key. I think that you know the experience on our club is on the pitching staff. Not everybody's had great careers up to this point, but I think guys are improving. Guys are working hard. And I think they like the culture, they love each other, and so it's going to be fun to watch them compete this year.
To build on that, outside of Cole and Blake, who are some of the guys who've kind of emerged that you can trust this spring?
Well, I think Mason Marriott's been good. Was good this fall. I think Andrew Petrowski and Jared Matheson are 2 incoming junior college guys that we're expecting good things from. Blake Rogers, as a freshman, has shown well. We've got another freshman, Danny Valadez, who was really kind of injured all fall, but is now healthy, and so we're anxious to see him. Cole Stasio, veteran guy, Brett Garcia, veteran guys that I think have all shown that hey, they're going to be in the mix and able to help us get outs and compete in innings.
Because you talked a couple days ago, there are people pick you up because they don't know what they don't know. What would you want people, fans, to know about this team that gives you that confidence?
Well, here's what I'd say. I do care what people pick us. It puts a chip on my shoulder. I'll just be honest with you. You know, I don't like being picked where we're picked, and I don't ever want to be picked there again. But at the same time, I get it, and hey, it is what it is, and we can either look at it and go, oh boy, or we can freaking take it as a challenge, and I'm taking it as a challenge. We're at least going to meet expectations, probably going to exceed them. That's the idea here. So, you know, I mean, you know, when you start where they picked us, they don't expect a whole lot from us, so we're going to try and give them all we got.
Is that printed out on a poster for motivation in the clubhouse yet?
No, it's not printed out on the poster, but the message has been sent, and you know, I just think that it's you know, if you're picked to win it, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win it. You know, and if you think it does, then you're obviously mistaken. And so if you're picked to be last, it doesn't mean you're going to be last. We are the only ones that get a say as to where we're going to finish. And so that's why we play these games. It's not all on paper.
How would you describe your culture and what you're trying to build or maybe even restore?
I just think that I want to build a family. I mean, you know, the together thing, it's not just for the fans and the community and it's us. I want us to be together. And I told our guys this yesterday, hey, we're your coaches, you're our players. We're it. Together, we're it. This is us. And it's enough, okay? It's enough, and we're gonna make it enough. And that's how we're gonna go about it this fall, you know? I mean, it's a family atmosphere. We're gonna win together, we're gonna lose together. We're gonna treat each other with respect. We're gonna work our tails off and you know, respect each other, and I think that when you do that on a daily basis, it carries over, and you get better performances out of everybody. You know, one of the things I love about our guys is I encourage them to find the teammate doing something well, and let them know. Okay, hey, atta baby, great swing, great play. You know, because that pumps him up, and he wants to do it again. And then he's looking at you, and when you do that, you get that back. And so, if you're looking more at giving than receiving, it'll always work out better for you.
So the NCAA approved that third grade assistant, but you know, how do you feel about that? What does that mean for Baylor?
Well, I'm hoping that it'll mean that Coach Blair gets put on on a full-time contract and do that. We're waiting to talk with our administration, and they're going through the process, and I have great trust in them and their decision making. We're going to go through that. I mean, Jim is a great coach, and I don't have to look for where I'm going. I know where I'm going for that full-time paid position. If I get it, I'm filling it with Jim Blair, and that's it.
What do you think it does for baseball?
For college baseball, I think it's something that's way overdue. Okay, I think college baseball is the sport that has less coaches per player than any other sport in the game, in across the board. And I think our student athletes deserve it. You know, the opportunity to work with full-time guys who are hooked up and do it. I think we have plenty of people who have put in all the time in the world to make it. And I think that any school can figure out a way to come up with some sort of pay to pay the guy. There's some way, whether it's a graduate assistant position, whether it's $10,000, $20,000, whatever you want, there's some way that you can figure that out. I'm thankful I'm at Baylor. I'm thankful that our people understand that, and I'm expecting good things from, you know, when I hear their decision.
Mitch, you said this is us, this is enough, we're enough, that kind of thing. Do you feel like the answers are there in the field? Because that seems like that's where more of the questions are. Do you feel like the answers are there? You just got to find them.
Well, you know what? We've got to improve offensively. I mean, you know, when you look and we only returned 2 home runs on our team, there's, you know, we're all wondering, how are we going to do? You know, how do we do against ourselves? How do we go against other people when we get going? And so there's going to be growing pains. There's no question. But I like where our guys are at. We're better today than we were in the fall, and hopefully we're going to be better in 3 weeks than we are today and continue that improvement process. But we're young, inexperienced, and, you know, there's going to be some ups and downs as we learn and get going. But I like where they're at, and I like our guys' competitive nature.
You could see some freshmen starting out.
We're going to have several of them freshmen out there starting, no question in my mind, and we'll have some you know, young sophomores with very little experience that are transfer type guys, or guys that are working their way into a lineup for the first time. So there's a lot of inexperience, and we're going to have to grow them up fast.
Is there an energy around here that maybe was missing before you got here?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know about the past. I know that we've got energy here. I know that there's been great responses anywhere we've gone. People are excited. We got to fill these stands up, and we've got to do our job and give fans something that they want to come watch. You know, college baseball is not fun to watch if your team's losing and it's 45 degrees. You know, and if your team's winning and it's 45, it's a little more fun. You know, and so hopefully we can get good weather early. You know, get off to a good start. We're playing competitive teams that are going to give us all we want, but they're going to prepare us for the Big 12. And you know, I feel that there's good energy. I like the energy of our kids, and I like the energy of our staff. We're getting good responses in recruiting, so I like where we're heading.
Mitch, you mentioned growth from the fall until now. Where specifically are you maybe seeing some of that?
Well, I think we've improved in every area. I think we've improved in our work ethic. I think we've improved in growing as a team and the togetherness on our team. I think we've grown offensively. I think our pitchers are stronger. Hopefully they've got better stuff. I think we're going to play better defense. I think we're growing, you know. I mean, and we've got room to improve, and we will always have room to improve. You know, you're either improving or you're either getting better or you're getting worse. There's no staying the same. And so I sure hope that we keep improving. That's the idea.
Do you have a timeline on when Will Rigney will be back on the mound?
Will's working. He's working. I'm anticipating it'll be here soon. We're not ready to put him out there in inter-squad games yet or put him in those kind of competitive situations, but he's working in through the rehab process. Everything's going great. He's feeling great. And he would be a big you know, shot in the arm for us and give us another big, strong, physical dude who does have some experience that could go out there and compete for us.
Aside from Will, how are you health-wise?
Everything's been pretty good. Very minor stuff. You know, an oblique or, you know, a little tenderness in a bicep, you know, or something like that. So health-wise, we're in good shape right now, and we're going to need to stay healthy. You know, this isn't going to be a team where we can go 3-4 deep at every position and just expect it, you know, to fall into place. And you know, it's usually not that way when you're dealing with 11.7 scholarships anyhow. You know, there's a drop-off. So our guys are competing hard, and we need to stay healthy.
I know you're still 3 weeks from the season opener, non-conference slate at that point, but what are you looking at when with the Big 12 this season, with the way that the preseason poll did fall out?
I think the conference is good. I think the conference is loaded. I think it's going to be really competitive. I just hope that we can compete and do our part and be in the mix, and it's going to be my job to make sure that that's where we're heading.
Anything else? Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch.
I appreciate you guys being here today. Thanks for your support. Coverage.
It's exciting to be back out here and ready to get started for sure.
What are the expectations, or do y'all start out with that?
The
Just
expectations for the team for the
this
year.
team, yeah.
I mean, we always have high expectations for each other. We're always pushing each other to get better, so there's always high expectations for what's to come, for sure.
Did you tell coming out of the fall what your role is, what it will be, or is that still to be determined?
I think it's still to be determined. Whenever my name gets called, it's going to get called, so just kind of prepare to when my name gets called.
Coach said that this is probably the pitching staff is probably the strength of this team right now. But what can you say about that and the preparation that y'all have gone through during the fall?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely really deep as a pitching staff. We have guys that no matter who gets thrown on the mound, they're just going to fully compete and just really show out.
So as a guy who was one of the guys who came back from last year's team, what was it that kind of sold you on coming back to Baylor? 'Cause I assume if you wanted to leave after the coaching change, you probably could have had options.
Yeah, I think there's a purpose for me here. I think that I came back just because I love Waco, I love Baylor. It's kind of my home. So yeah, I was just excited to get back and meet everybody, meet the new coaching staff, and get going.
What gives you guys hope about what Mitch can create here?
I think just of what he's done, really. I mean, you can kind of feel just the buzz around him. Like, everybody just loves him, and the guy that you guys see is the guy that he is on the field. So it's every day. It's just he brings energy, and it helps a team want to keep pushing harder when he's giving his full effort.
What's the biggest difference between Coach Rod and Coach Thompson?
I'm not sure what the big difference was. I didn't really. Me and Coach Rod, me and Mitch Thompson, we both have good relationships. So, I mean, it's kind of just he's another coach. You know what I mean? Somebody that you're gonna fight for.
What would you say is the strength of this year's team, or just really you had to describe it to somebody who's never watched play?
I think all around, we're pretty solid. We're a really deep team. Each position's got multiple guys that we can roll through. Like I said, the pitching staff's super deep. So I don't think there's one strength as a team. I think that we're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
How much did Coach Leverton help you throughout the fall and in the spring?
A ton. Yeah, Coach Lev, every day is kind of his big thing's competing. And every day we come to the field, no matter what it is, whether it's sprints or just playing catch, you're competing and kind of making the guy you're throwing with or you're running with just get better. So that translates to the mound for sure. Because when you're on the mound, everything just kind of feels the same as it was in practice.
From now until opening day, what do you guys need to do as a team to be ready for that first potential pitch game?
Yeah, there's stuff that we can always clean up, but we're ready. We're ready to go. I think these inter squads are going to be huge to kind of get everybody together and cleaned up. So that's really, I think we're ready to go.
Cole, has Mitch mentioned the Baylor teams of old that he was a part of and kind of getting the program back to that point?
Yeah, he's talked about it. He's talked about the fans and the people that how it used to be packed out all the time, and he's told us about the season tickets that have been sold this year, and we're excited to have this place packed out and put on a show for sure.
Cole, with all the newcomers and young guys, how much are you and Blake and some of those other older guys being asked on to be leaders and things like that?
Yeah, it helps just to make younger guys comfortable. I think that's a big thing because a lot of the times some of the older guys, not on our team, but in the past, with different teams that I've been on, I've seen being a younger guy that it's hard to get close with those older guys. So I think just off the jump, just being super open and letting those guys be able to talk to you or come for questions or anything, that makes them comfortable because we got a lot of freshmen that are going to help us out a ton this year.
First day, I guess, just talk about that and being back out here. What's that feeling like?
Oh, it's great to be back. Every time we come back out here, it's good to be with the team. I always miss it every time I go home, but it's finally great to be back and work hard for the team.
Okay, so what can you say about this year's offense and who's been stepping up in regards to that?
Actually, it's been quite a few people. We have a lot of the underdogs, like a couple of freshmen that have definitely proved to be here. We have a lot of transfers from JUCOs that have really stepped it up too. And I mean, we only have a couple guys from last year that are still in the lineup too. But I would say overall, everybody's doing a pretty good job for the offense.
What do you feel like your role is going to be this year?
It's wherever coach wants me to be. I'm a team player, always have been. Whatever he thinks fits best for me, I'm just going to go out there and compete for the team and make sure we win.
Casen, as one of the returners, what's been your impression of Coach Thompson?
I really do like him. He's definitely a team guy. He makes sure that he's here for us, and he's told us that multiple times. He's like, I'm not here because of me, I'm here for you, and I really like that for him. And he's straight up about that, which I also like as a coach, to be straight up and not lie about things, and I really enjoy that for him.
Is there one thing that sticks out that's different from last year to this year with the coaching staff?
I would definitely say talking wise, they every single one of them has a job and they follow through. Last year there wasn't really that much of it, but this year it's definitely a huge improvement in my opinion.
Coach said those things don't matter, but y'all were picked 9th. There's only 9 teams in the Big 12, so how does it motivate you? Does it matter right now? Or
I think it can go both ways. I mean, you can kind of get offended by it, but not really to me. I tend to have a chip on my shoulder and just go out there and say, all right, I think that's funny, but we're going to go out there and compete and prove people wrong.
Can you say it too? Can you say your last name?
Brzozowski. It's not as hard as it seems.
I was like, you said you were a pitcher?
So I'm a two-way.
Two-way.
Yes, sir.
what do you play in the field?
I play right field, center field, and then I pitch a little bit here and there too.
How do you balance that?
Oh, it's tough. A lot of long hours. Got to be here a little bit early, a little bit later than everyone, but that's something I've always wanted to do, especially at this level, so I'm not bothered by it at all. And I think I can help out the team in the field and pitching, so whatever can help out my team to win, I'll do it.
Let's go, Mitch, kind of talk to you what it's going to look like on the mound. What do you think will be, coming from the pen or things like that?
I think I'll be mainly from the pen. The most I pitched in the fall was an inning at a time and mainly played outfield for most of it. So whatever they want me to do, I'll do it. It's not a big deal to me. As long as I'm on the field helping out my guys, that's all I can ask for.
What convinced you to transfer here?
It was a great opportunity for me. I love Coach Thompson. I've spoke to him before whenever he was at McLennan. I thought it was a great fit for me, and I was super excited to come here, and I think Baylor fits how I want to live, through my spirit, all that. So I thought it was a great place for me to play out all my 4 years. So.
What does a Mitch Thompson sales pitch look like?
Oh man, he's a great salesman. I can say that for sure. He makes you feel awesome, and even while we're here, it's the same thing. You basically get what you get with him. Like from the first phone call I had with him since I've been here, he's been the same guy, and so I really appreciate him for that with all the antics that goes around in college sports. So super fortunate to have him as head coach.
What are your impressions of this team and what do you see that allows you to think that they can be successful this year?
Oh, okay. I think we're going to be super successful, even though the rankings come out. Who cares? Because that doesn't matter at the end of the day. No one's going to look at preseason rankings and say, yeah, since y'all were ranked last, y'all are going to finish last. That it doesn't matter. So I think we're going to have a great impression on the Big 12 and everything we do. We have a lot of studs, and not a lot of people know about us, about our pitching staff, about our new recruits we got in. So I'm super excited to shock the college baseball world.
Does it seem like it's a clubhouse full of guys who think of this as a fresh start?
I would say so. I think clearing house and having Coach Thompson as a head coach was a good little revamp for the program. Everyone seems to love him. Everyone gets along in the locker room, and so everyone's ready to get after it.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.